Hi! So we have another story from the Sesame Street bedtime storybook. This one is called Silly Annabelle. Once upon a time, in a village in a faraway land, there lived a little girl named Annabelle. Annabelle liked to lie in the grass and watch the clouds, and she liked to work in her vegetable garden. She also liked to read books about trains, although she'd never seen one because her village was too small to have a train station. But most of all, she liked to sing. She would sing all day long, whatever she was doing. Wherever she went, people would say, "There goes that silly Annabelle, singing as always. Do you think she'll ever stop?" But of course, she never did. Then, one day, the people in Annabelle's village woke up to find that a huge yellow dragon with a tail as long as all Sesame Street had appeared during the night. He was running around having a wonderful time knocking over fences and chasing cows and digging holes in the street and trampling through the gardens and eating the straw roofs right off the houses and, well, just making a terrible mess of everything. You can imagine all the trouble a dragon like that would cause. The people in Annabelle's village wondered what to do. Then one old man remembered that his great-great-grandmother had told him the recipe for a magic powder that would turn big dragons into little dragons. The people ran to get the things they needed to make the magic powder. They got mushrooms and turnip seeds, a baby's shoe, 2 blue buttons, a feather from a swan, and the dust from the northwest corner of the attic of the tallest house in the village. They ground everything up together to make the powder. Then the old man remembered that you were supposed to put the powder on the end of the dragon's nose. "Uh-oh," everybody said. "How are we ever going to put the magic powder on the end of the dragon's nose?" The school teacher had an idea. "I'll climb up this tree," he said, "and throw the powder down right into the dragon's nose." But that didn't work. The dragon wrapped his tail around the tree and shook it so hard that the school teacher fell out with a loud crash and had to be carried home. The woman who owned the cheese shop thought they should sprinkle the powder on some cabbages and put them where the dragon would find them and eat them. That way, he would get the powder all over his nose himself. But it turned out that the dragon didn't like cabbages and wouldn't go near them. At last, after 100 other ideas had failed, Annabelle asked to try. "Oh, silly Annabelle," everyone said. "How could you put the powder on the dragon's nose?" "I could sing to him," Annabelle said. "That might work." Of course, everyone laughed and said, "Silly Annabelle." But in the end, they let her try because they didn't know what else to do. So, feeling very frightened, Annabelle took some of the magic powder in her hand, walked slowly toward the dragon, and began singing. She just made the words up as she went along, and this is what she sang. I apologize in advance, but I am going to try and sing it. "Oh, what does a dreaming dragon dream of? What passes through a dreaming dragon's head? Does a dreaming dragon dream of toys and candy, or of digging holes and eating roofs instead? Oh, what dreams will make a dragon happy? What kind of dreams will make a dragon smile? Do you dream of telling jokes and being friendly, or of scaring cows and chasing them a mile? Oh, what does a dreaming dragon dream of? Please tell me what I've always longed to know. Sleep and dream of all the things that dragons dream of. Won't you dream a dream before you have to go?" The dragon stopped frisking around and pulling up bushes with his tail and began to listen. He started swinging his head slowly back and forth to the song. Then his eyelids began to droop. He started swinging his head slowly back and forth to the song, and he got sleepier and sleepier. And at last he stretched out full length on the ground, rolled over on his side, and began to snore. Annabelle bravely tiptoed forward and put the magic powder right on the end of the sleeping dragon's nose. At first, nothing happened. Then all of a sudden, the dragon began to shrink. He got smaller and smaller and smaller. Finally, he was no bigger than a big dog, and since that was just the right size for a pet, Annabelle took the dragon home with her and put him in her backyard. There he liked to run and play and eat the lima beans Annabelle fed him from her garden. Most of all, though, he liked to listen to her sing. The people in the village were very proud of Annabelle and very grateful to her for putting the magic powder on the dragon's nose. They knew now that she wasn't silly at all, and they never called her Silly Annabelle again. Bye. Hope you liked my singing.